Hello there, all my fellow members of the human race and other animal type species, none of which can understand what I'm saying, probably. Um, mm. It is February 6th, 2023. It's a Monday. I think it's closing on noon. Yeah, it's about 12:15, 15 minutes before noon. Got, I don't know if you can see this guy over here. The headrest is in the way. No. Anyway, I was going to point out this truck that I run into here occasionally. Guy's name is Jim Murphy that runs and operates this rig. And he's got one client, which is Ramp Master. And they do tanks for aviation fuel. He's doing something to this tank over there, a 10,000 gallon tank. Those things are big, but they're bigger, 15, 20,000 gallons. You think we're hooked on fossil fuel? We're just beginning to get off of that addiction. The use of natural gas in Europe was down by 30% in 2022. A large part because of the ban from Russia of sending them natural gas in Europe. That said, renewables increased by, I think renewables supplied somewhere between 25 and 50% of the electricity power used and consumed in 2022 in Europe. How do you like that? And the Germans said something crazy too, like they're going to be 80 or 90% renewables by the end of the decade. How great and wonderful is that? I feel sorry for the birds that get killed by the windmills, but I think that they might have come to a place where they got that figured out, where they get the bigger windmill blades and they turn slowly. They're slow in turning, and so the birds can avoid them, But the world is transitioning to renewable sources of energy. There's no question about it. All you have to do is look at the numbers. I would not have futures in oil or natural gas, because I think we'll always have a use for both of those. They're going to be continue to be used, but they're not going to grow. Thank God. Our atmosphere is so contaminated with emissions and soot and filth that we put into the atmosphere through our cars and definitely through diesel trucks. I would love to see the last diesel truck, replaced by an electric semi, because that's even though they only represent 5% of the vehicles that are on the road, they're like 25% or 30% of the noxious fumes and emissions. Come on, man. There's a perfectly good alternative. It's been there forever. It just took somebody to discover it, like Elon Musk. So anyway, that's thoughts for the day. It looks to me like, as far as investing is concerned, that we're like at the beginning of a pretty good run right now. I'm glad I stayed with Tesla, even though it really hammered my portfolio. Oh my gosh. It hammered my portfolio. And I took some mitigating actions as it was going down, but it's still, wow. The bottom fell out, frankly. And it's a 4-year cycle. Bob Lucas called that perfectly. There's a guy I follow on YouTube. His name is Bob Lucas. When he talks, I understand what he's saying. I don't have to be one of these pseudo experts that work, analysts. I call them analysts that work on Wall Street. And they're all concerned about the next 3 to 6 months anyway. I'm becoming a little bit more concerned on the short term. But I'm sticking with Tesla, that's for sure. Oh, we'll see what happens, One thing I've learned is, man, I hate to think about what I've learned, because it's been so painful these last 2 years. Just been insanely painful and disruptive, emotionally disruptive for me. But there you go. What else do I want to talk about? There's no such thing as a free press in the mainstream media. They're bought and paid for, like Yahoo. Man, you go in there with a wheelbarrow of money and say, "I want you to trash talk Tesla." They'll figure out a way to do it without, they'll make a real, like, oh, it's a real story. Like, oh, the one that I saw today was, well, all the semis that Tesla has delivered are just standing there, and out of all the semis they've delivered, more than half of them are sitting around getting maintenance instead of working. That's the headline, condensed version of that. Okay, it's a freaking lie. It's just a bald-faced lie. Why can't they be held accountable for this stuff, man? The only way that they can be held accountable is somebody has to shell out tons of money to take them to court. Tesla just keeps on moving along, doing what they're doing. The Bitcoin, I'm wondering because people like Jamie Dimon, who is just a really evil, nefarious guy, and he trash talks Bitcoin after he participated in the demolition of our country in 2008 and 2009. He participated directly in that. He took over the silver contracts from Bear Stearns, and he has illegally suppressed the price of silver. And they were, J.P. Morgan was convicted, and they had to pay $1 billion or something like that, which is like chump change for them. We'll pay your stupid fine. Here you go. Here's your money, federal government. Here you go. And we're just going to continue to do it. I mean, just look at the price of silver. Silver should be $100 an ounce right now. It should be. All right, with Jamie Dimon, he has his foot on the neck of the silver market. The Hunt brothers, they got nothing on Jamie Dimon. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a good day. It's nice. It's it's supposed to be winter here. It sure doesn't look, and it sure doesn't feel like winter. There's vestiges of the winter season. Like there's no green, the grass is all brown. The sky is a hazy shade of winter. Like Simon and Garfunkel sang. I love that song, man. That one album of theirs was really. They had two albums, I think, that were really, really, really good. Paul Simon kind of hit his stride. So, yeah, but compared to the winters when I was a kid, this is nothing, man. Man, some of that, and George Washington at Valley Forge, I can't imagine how awful that was. Man, guys walking around the middle of the winter with no clothes, not enough clothes to wear. These are the same guys that fought for and won independence for our country. I gotta get the dog out. He's been very patient. You are a patient doggy. There you can see him in here. Can you see the dog? Harvey, can you see? You want to say hi to anybody? Huh? Yeah, hi. Now get me out of this damn cage. He's not too upset being in there, so he's fairly comfortable. And he'd be more upset if he was let loose inside the car. He goes crazy. He doesn't ride in a car. I mean, it's so unusual for a dog, A lot of dogs love it. The dog I had before, Haiti, my dear little girl. She loved getting in the car, man. And she knew that was one place where she could relax and be safe. She didn't have to do anything. She didn't have to move around. What a wonderful companion she was. Taken away from me way too soon. Anyway, I gotta give the dog a walk. So I hope you guys are doing well. In terms of the market, I wouldn't touch fossil fuel with a 10-foot pole. I just don't think there's that much room for them to grow anymore. I could be wrong. That's possible. I'd much rather hook my fate and destiny to the star of a guy like Elon Musk and Tesla and SpaceX, because they're just like Gene Roddenberry. Their vision of the future is one of abundance and prosperity for everyone. And, wouldn't that be something? Huh. I don't know how it would happen, but that would be highly unusual. Peace.